And these girls will tell you there's more than just golf going on here. They're also learning how to build character. Many people will tell you that this new theater is one of the most important venues ever created in this city. For participants in this parade, this is an opportunity to celebrate the dreamer and his dream. And Jim Brown says this is not the last time you will see him here in Memphis. He's already making plans to bring his American Foundation to this city. This, for example, is a lift for the disabled, which means whether you can walk or not, you can sit right here and someone can lower you right into the water. We're talking ground towels and basketballs this morning. In just a few hours, this area here in front of the FedEx Forum will be filled with excited Grizzlies fans.
These are my helper today.
And on this day, we got to see not one but two Zach Randolphs, as dad and son, how you doing, young man? Zachariah teamed up to give back to the community.
Man, it's a great thing, man.
And here in this part of the museum, an interactive map of the United States. Pull up Birmingham, for example, and learn about civil rights struggles in that city. Take a look, that driver, I guess he just gave up. He's turning around and going back in the other direction. So kind of gives you an idea that if you're going to be out here driving on the roads, you're going to be dealing with this. This is a piece of ice, I guess, about the size of a small baseball, but it's all around here, all on the roads. And so what you're going to have to really do is be careful this morning. Yeah, Andrew, Congressman Cohen wants American Airlines and U.S. Airway executives to consider their presence here in the Bluff City. At least one Dyersburg city leader is pointing the finger at the city's housing authority president, Paula Ledford, and tells us that Ledford feels the lunches are a liability. The more than 21,000 free lunches given out in the Dyersburg area are paid for with federal dollars. Paula Ledford is expected to answer those claims against her later today, and we'll have her response tonight on Action News 5 at 5.
Road in East Memphis, Ben?
That's right, Andrew. 24-Hour Fitness sent letters to all members asking anyone who used the spa and steam room between May 21st and June 21st and experienced Legionnaire's disease symptoms to see a doctor. This warning comes after 3 members who used those areas on separate occasions were diagnosed with Legionnaire's disease.
WMC Action News 5 Weekend.
Look for a lot of media buzz about the new James Brown movie coming out this week. It was produced by Rolling Stone frontman Mick Jagger. Now, one Memphian looking forward to the film is Memphian Mark Stansbury. At a concert back in the 70s, Stansbury took a picture of Brown that led to the beginning of their lifelong friendship. James Brown could bring out the moves and the music to energize any concert audience.
Ow! I feel good.
And good is how Brown made you feel every time he took the stage. And now trailers for the new movie about his life called Get On Up are getting fans fired up.
Can't wait to go see it.
Longtime Memphis photographer Mark Stansbury developed a friendship with James Brown. It started back in the 1970s when Stansbury snapped this historic concert picture of the man known as the Godfather of Soul.
Well, the sweat was just popping out on him. You could just see it. Like I said, it was shot available light.
Stansbury said he was sure Brown would like the picture, but when he tried to give him a copy, Brown said no.
He said, I don't want him to give it to me. And that kind of broke my heart.
Stansbury would later learn that it wasn't that Brown didn't like his picture, he loved it. But the problem was Brown didn't want Stansbury to give it to him. He wanted to pay for it. So Brown gave Stansbury $100. He says it was a lot of money for a picture back in the 1970s.
James Brown hit it!
And now Stansbury is hoping that the new movie about James Brown will give fans of all generations an up-close look at the man he feels was a genius.
This is a man! Out of James Brown, soul music became a world music, and out of that came disco and rap and hip-hop. There wouldn't have been a Michael Jackson or a Prince.
On and off the stage, Brown made a huge impact, and that impact continues today.
WMC Action News 5 Weekend starts now.
Get ready for another chilly day here in the Mid-South, but a warm-up is coming. Here's a live look at cloudy skies. Good morning. It's Sunday, December 20th. I'm Ben Watson, and thanks for joining us this morning. The stories making headlines across the Mid-South are headed your way in just a minute, but first, let's check in with Brittany Bryant, live in the Action News 5 Storm Tracking Center. Good morning, Brittany.
All right.
Thank you, Brittany. A bomb scare at a Cordova thrift store forces nearby businesses to lock their doors and take cover. That after police found a grenade and mortar around there yesterday. Police say an employee at Helping People God's Way thrift store discovered the grenade and called police. Officers later determined that the grenade and mortar were inoperable, but area business owners say the threat felt very real and was enough to make them take extra precautions.
Yeah, kind of scared when I heard of it. I was like,
Police say the weapons were found in a box dropped off at the store, but they have not said who left them there. MPD's bomb unit took the items from the scene. Well, this 19-year-old is behind bars after police say he fired shots that hit and killed an innocent bystander in his very own yard. 45-year-old Frederick Richardson's family struggles to understand what happened. Police say witnesses tell them Jennings was shooting at someone else all the way down the street when a stray bullet hit Richardson, who was sitting in a chair in this driveway. Rose Eckler has details.
Everybody that means something to somebody in this world.
And that was our Rose Eckler reporting. Now, Williams says his family is working to heal. Jennings is due in court tomorrow. Also in court tomorrow, former University of Memphis basketball player Sean Williams. As of now, Williams is out of jail charged with DUI after police say he crashed his car Friday night with 2 young children in his car. The Shelby County Jail indicates he was released on a $1,000 bond to show up for court tomorrow. The crash happened at the intersection of East Parkway and Union Avenue. 2 other drivers were taken to the hospital, 1 in critical condition. Williams is also facing disorderly conduct, leaving the scene of an accident, and reckless driving charges. Williams spent 1 season at the University of Memphis before Indiana drafted him back in 2006. And take a look, this woman, Cherish Jedden, is due in court tomorrow. She's charged with murdering her husband while her 3 children were inside the home. Deputies say they found the man's body on the kitchen floor inside a home in Moscow, Tennessee, after a woman called 911 and told an operator she'd shot her husband in the chest. Well, new this morning in Decision 2016, Democratic presidential hopefuls Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, and Martin O'Malley faced off last night in New Hampshire. Chris Pallone has the war of words from the party's 3rd presidential debate.
Chris Pallone, NBC News.
Here in Memphis, and thanks to your generosity, our Port Elise toy drive exceeded the goal of 5,000 toys. So we cannot thank you enough for helping us provide toys to deserving kids for Christmas. Yesterday ended the 3A donation event here at WMC Action News 5 on Union Avenue. The goal was to celebrate Santa and his real live reindeer who were on hand, plus food trucks and plenty of karaoke. Organizers from Port Elise say this year's donations will make Christmas special for thousands of kids.
It's Christmas. It's all about giving.
Again, we want to give out a big high five and thank all of the volunteers and everyone who donated toys. Well, new and next for you on Action News 5 Weekend, the Southern Weekend is taking us on an adventure to an iconic restaurant that has made people happy for some 85 years. And let the force be with you with the release of Star Wars. See how fans are celebrating.
You're watching WMC Action News 5 Weekend.
8:12 is your time right now, and the Southern Weekend explores food, fun, and travel here in the South. This time they take you to an Atlanta icon, the Varsity, where hot dogs and onion rings have been keeping generations of people happy for some 85 years. Time now for a look at weather. Brittany's here to tell you about hopefully a fantastic day today.
Yes, it is going to be pretty nice for us, though a little bit cloudy.
Okay.
But this is going to be the coolest day we see in a while, which is crazy because we're going to be near 60 degrees.
And it is December.
Yeah, 60 degrees. You're like, oh, it's so cool outside compared to like 70 that we're going to have as we head into next week. Now, overnight we had clear skies, but we are really starting to see a lot of cloud. First Alert Weather Team over the next few days, that Storm Track 5 app, download it now because you're going to need it with all that rain we have this week. But we're going to be pretty busy with the weather this week.
And it's a great app, as a matter of fact, and folks need to pick it up.
It is, and it's free. Hey.
Thank you, Brittany. We'll check in with you later.
Okay.
Well, we'll be right back.
All around the world.
Well, if you're a fan of women's basketball, you know that Olive Branch's Maya Taylor is one of the best. Her offense and defense have made her one of the most dynamic players in the Mid-South. Maya and her trainer, Scotty Mason, are live in the studio this morning to tell you all about it. And thank you so very much.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And Maya, when you look at yourself on tape, on films, what do you think?
I just try to play hard every day and give it all I have.
And you've done that quite well. Tell us about your stats. I mean, you're doing some amazing work at Olive Branch. Huh?
Yes, sir. I averaged 26 points, 8 assists, and 6 steals.
All right, thank you, Brittany. Well, new this morning, an Air France flight headed to Paris made an emergency landing in Kenya after a suspicious device was reported on board. 473 people were on board that aircraft. It requested permission to land in Mombasa after a passenger discovered a device in the restroom. The plane landed safely and all passengers were evacuated. Bomb experts have retrieved the device and are working to determine whether it contains explosives. Now, according to Kenya Airport Authority, the airport was temporarily shut down following the incident, but has since reopened. Investigators say no one survived a small plane crash that happened in Bakersfield, California Saturday afternoon. Air traffic control operators received a mayday call from the aircraft. Shortly after the call, the plane was reported missing from radar. Several hours later, a debris field was found in the area of the plane's last known position. Investigators have not said just how many people were on the plane. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department is investigating a deadly shooting inside a hospital that involved a Los Angeles police officer. They say when officers tried to arrest a man who was throwing bottles at an apartment building, he attacked 2 police officers, trying to take one of their tasers. Now, both officers and the suspect were taken to the same hospital for treatment, and that's where the situation got worse.
The suspect picked up a metal stool within the emergency room.
A busboy was at work at a Colorado diner when he found $3,000 in cash. He says he didn't know who it belonged to, but what he did know is that it didn't belong to him. Crispin Havner tells you what the busboy decided to do. Time now for a look at weather, and Brittany's been smiling all morning, so I think that means she has something great to tell us about today's weather.
Yeah, today is going to be really nice. We've actually had a fantastic weekend. We're remaining dry, but the week, oh, not looking as nice.
Okay.
Not so nice. Tuesday and Wednesday. Christmas Eve is looking good, but Christmas Day, a little bit of rain on the way.
All right, get an umbrella for Christmas. All right. Well, thank you, and thank you for watching Action News 5 Weekend. We'll see you again tonight on Action News 5 at 5.
Brunswick Road and Stewart Road in Shelby County. He joins us now via Skype. Ben?
Yeah, that's right, Kim. Those Chopper 5 pictures, if we can go back to them right now, that is over the area where I think there are 2 boats that Chopper 5 is showing you right now. They're searching, investigators are searching a 12-mile area.
Of Brunswick Road and Stewart Road in Shelby County with new information. Ben?
That's right, Kim. Where I'm set up right now is now the command center for this search. They've been looking for these 2 young men all night. The good news is the sun is out right now, and daylight may be the key to helping find out just where these 2 young men are. Now, to recap, these 2 young men went fishing yesterday afternoon, something they do all the time, but now there's some kind of problem because they can't locate these 2 young men. They've been able to locate the vehicle that the 2 young men came here to this scene in, but they have not been able to locate the 2 young men. I'd say about an hour ago, the boat that the young men were in was discovered. It was capsized, and now officials have concentrated their search around that particular area. From what we understand, it is about a 12-mile area that they're searching right now, trying to find out more about these 2 young men. Of course, this search is being headed up by the Shelby County Sheriff's Department, and we want to go over right now and talk to Chip Washington, a spokesman for the Sheriff's Department. And what can you tell us about all this, Chip?
Well, basically, Ben, pretty much the same story you said. Yesterday afternoon, sometime about 4 o'clock, 3 or 4 o'clock, these 2 young men went fishing, and of course they hadn't been spotted or heard from since. We received a call from one of their relatives about 11 o'clock last night saying that they were missing, and that's when we started to mobilize and get into action. And as you did mention, about an hour or so ago, we did find the boat that was registered to them behind the DuPont plant, about 100 yards behind the DuPont plant. And so now we're continuing to search that perimeter. It's about a 12-mile area to see if we can find these 2 young men.
And speaking of the search, are you guys in the water right now or on land, or where are you searching?
We're on land, we're in the water, we're in the air as well with our helicopters as well. So we're trying to have it covered from all angles right now. But we're trying to get close enough in that specific 12-mile area where we found the boat in hopes of maybe being able to discover something.
All right, thank you. That's Chip Washington with the Shelby County Sheriff's Department talking about the search for 2 two young men. Now, we don't have names yet, but we're told that one is a 17-year-old Bolton High School student, and the other young man is a 16-year-old Cordova student. Apparently, both are fishermen. I talked with someone who was out here with the family, their supporters out here right now, and also friends of these kids, and they said that they were good swimmers and just like to fish a lot. Of course, we'll be staying here on the scene, bringing you updates throughout the morning.
And a breaking news update at 9:58. Live pictures now from Chopper 5 of the Loosahatchee River, where these teens, these boaters missing since last night, have been found alive. We are zeroed in on a power boat right now. We believe this boat may be on the way to pick up these teens who were found alive on the banks of the Loosahatchee River within the last hour. Action News 5's Ben Watson has been set up there for almost 6 hours now, since about 4 o'clock this morning. He is live with, I believe, a family member. Is that right, Ben?
That's right, Andrew. And not only have I been here this long, Chelsea Cross has been here even longer. She's the brother of Landon Cross. And Chelsea, what are you feeling right now?
I'm overjoyed. I'm so thrilled that they're on their way here. I mean, it almost seems surreal. All of our prayers and thoughts, everybody's thoughts and prayers have been answered. And I mean, it's just an unreal feeling. And we can only thank the Lord for this.
So you got a testimony this morning, huh?
Yes, sir. I sure do.
Now, can you tell us what you know about the situation so far? Are they okay, or are they?
Well, from what I know, they're okay and they're headed this way. But that's all that I know for now.
Earlier, there was this big shout that went out, and everybody just started hugging. It must have just been amazing for you guys.
Oh, yes. It was extremely amazing. I kind of stood back a little bit to see what, my parents got the news first, and it was, I was so thrilled to see my parents happy, and everyone was screaming after that. Everyone was just thrilled that they were alive.
Especially your dad. Tell us now, he passed out. How's he doing now?
He's good. He's good. They gave him a little cold rag. Everything's fine with him, but yes, he did. I guess he was extremely thrilled too, of course.
Now, your brother and his friend is Brendan Demji. Yes, Demji. Do they come out here a lot, or are they fishermen?
No, well, they are fishermen. They do fish quite a lot, but this was their first trip out here, and will be their last, to say the least.
So you have some special words for your brother when he comes?
Yes, this will be their last on the Loosahatchee River. He will not return.
And so you are waiting now on the big reunion.
Yes,
what are you going to say to your brother when he gets here?
Honestly, I don't really know yet. I just want to give him a big, huge hug.
All right.
That's it. I just want to hug him.
Yeah, well, we can understand your jubilation, and just congratulations to you and your family, and we just wish you all the best.
Thank you.
All right, Chelsea. That was Chelsea Cross. She is the sister, Landon's big sister, and she says he's going to get a serious talking to when they get together. Of course, we will be here. The reunion should take place hopefully in just a short while, and we will bring it to you as soon as it becomes available. For now, this has Ben Watson reporting from the Loosahatchee River.
Okay, Ben Watson. That
made it difficult for the searchers. They had to bring in all-terrain vehicles, but it was harder for them to see. But the man of the hour, so to speak, is that guy from Wildlife Resources in that kayak. I mean, when he left, he had a smile on his face, and he was feeling upbeat, and I guess it all paid off for him, because he found those kids about 3 miles from where we are right now, but from what I understand, quite a distance from where their boat was capsized. It really puzzled everyone, because the boat was pointed into the ground, into the water in an odd position. So folks were trying to figure out just what was going on. Now, hey, I want to just interrupt for a minute, Andrew, and bring in Chip Washington, the spokesman for the Shelby County Sheriff's Department. And he's going to tell us what he can. Chip, you must be elated to know this is going on.
I am ecstatic. This is the kind of news that you want in situations like this. I told the family earlier today we weren't going to give up, we weren't going to stop searching, and that we're going to keep praying, and we're going to find these kids alive, and we did. And I am just absolutely over the moon. And you see the reaction of all those folks back there. This is just, I said it before, I'll say it again. When blessings go up, then when the prayers go up, the blessings come down, and that's exactly what happened today.
Now, we have some pictures on Action News 5 of a boat going out to either pick the kids up, or have they contacted them, or are they coming back? What's the status?
Well, right now we have sent a boat out to pick the kids up, and we're about to bring them off the bank and bring them back up here. And then it'll take some time, obviously, to talk to them and debrief and kind of figure out, after they reunite with their family and friends, of course, to try to figure out exactly what's been going on the last 12, 14 hours with them. But being through it all, they're alive, and they're seemingly well, and we are just so happy right now. all of us, because we wanted a good conclusion to this. To be totally honest with you, you and I talked several times this morning, and it didn't look good.
No, it didn't.
It didn't look good. But again, God works in mysterious ways, boy. And I tell you what, this is a happy day.
Yeah, I was talking to Chelsea Cross, the sister of Landon, and she was talking about going to church and her testimony and all the things that she will be able to say as a result of this, because they were praying all the time that this was going on.
Absolutely, and we talked about the fact that their friends and their family have been here all night long. They did not leave their side. They've been supportive, they've been encouraging, and they've been right here. And we just kept trying to keep the family lifted, keep trying to keep them lifted. And again, God does His thing. And I tell you what, if you believe and you understand what this is all about, things like this happen, and they're not a surprise.
Absolutely. We got to get the Lord the credit. Now, talk to us about logistics. Now, how far away from where they went in the water were they found, and then how far were they from the boat?
Well, actually, they were found about 3.5 miles from this location, which is where they actually put the boat in the water, on a bank, and we'll know more about that, once we talk to them and everything, which is actually about maybe 11 miles from where the boat itself was found, which was about 13, 14 miles west of here behind DuPont, and it had been capsized. It was over. So seeing the boat, the condition that the boat was in, you just didn't know. And you had no idea, where they could be anywhere along this stretch. And, as you said earlier, when one of the wildlife guys went in with that one-man kayak, and he went in and he spotted them, I mean, that's all she wrote. That's all she wrote.
Well, Chip, I'll tell you, you guys did a wonderful job out here, Shelby County Sheriff's Department, as well as other people who came and assisted you. So what's next? What happens next?
Well, next we'll get them on shore, and we'll have them checked out by medical, of course, to make sure that they're okay. And at a certain point, a little bit later on, we'll sit them down, talk to them, find out exactly what happened, kind of walk through the entire scenario, and kind of go from there. And once we get all of the questions answered, hopefully, they can go home to their families. And I bet you one thing, I bet you this is an experience they won't relive anytime soon. I guarantee you that.
Absolutely, Chip. Thank you, Chip. That's Chip Washington with the Sheriff's Department. And Andrew, we just can't stop smiling out here. It's such a good thing that these kids came out okay, alive, if you will. So we're just waiting, and in just a little while, the kids will be coming up that roadway over here just to my left, and we'll bring you that live, if possible, here on Action News 5. For now, this is Ben Watson reporting from the Loosahatchee River.
Well, you can see their looks. It appears that they are there right now, getting hugs from family and friends. Let's listen in here.
Are you guys all right? Yeah. What happened?
They look
Andrew,
fantastic.
They just had to rush them into, a little disheveled, as you will, but staying out all night like that, you can imagine. But the guy gave me the high sign. He said that they were doing all right. Now take a look at the celebration. Here's a whole big crowd of people. I mean, you think that somebody had won the Super Bowl when you look at all that jubilation, but I guess in a real life sense, it is like winning the Super Bowl, because these kids were up against some incredible odds. I mean, in the middle of the Loosahatchee River at night, all kinds of problems, river rising. I mean, it was not the scenario that you would expect to have a happy ending, but here it is, a happy ending, Andrew. So as the one lady said, she was giving all the credit to God.
No question about it, Ben Watson. Thank you so much.
Yeah. We grabbed onto a tree that was knocked over and just pulled to the side and started walking, looking for anywhere we could go.
Breaking news, for the first time we're hearing two missing teens rescued on the Loosahatchee River. Not missing that now.
Not anymore. The two have been missing all night long. We've been following the story since their disappearance. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Andrew Douglas.
And I'm Kim Clark. Action News 5's Ben Watson has been live on the scene all morning long. He joins us now with the latest on that rescue. Quite a day, Ben.
Quite a day, Kim. And if you like hearing about miracles, you're going to love what happened here just a short while ago when word came that those two young men had been found alive. Now, we have some video for you, and we want you to pay close attention to the man holding up his arm in the upper left corner of your screen. That's Landon Cross's dad passing out from exhaustion and joy after deputies told him that his son and his friend Brandon Demji had been found alive. The news sent shockwaves through the entire crowd as family members and friends and others began hugging each other and crying. overjoyed that the teenagers were found alive. So how do you feel, man?
I feel good to be back. Good to be back.
What was it like out there?
Woods, man. Wasn't nothing but woods. Just walking through the woods.
Were you worried about your safety out there?
A little bit, but not too bad. We pretty much knew where we were going as long as we could get out of the water.
So how are you feeling right now?
I feel great. I mean, I'm just ready to go home, enjoy a good home-cooked meal. I mean, I appreciate everybody for being out here. Oh, yeah, what a night.
Yeah. What a night indeed. And you're looking at Andy Tweed right now. He's the wildlife officer who found the boys. Now, he had been searching the river in his kayak, and he said when he got close, he heard one of the boys yell out. All in all, there was a happy ending to an incident that could have turned out tragic. Live along the Loosahatchee River, Ben Watson, Action News 5.
Action News 5 at 4 starts now.
Two teenage fishermen welcomed back in a dramatic rescue you saw live here on Action News 5. Good afternoon, I'm Lindsey Brown.
And I'm Jarvis Greer. Action News 5's Ben Watson was there during the search and for that dramatic rescue. He has the new details we've learned since then.
From the moment Landon Cross and Brandon Dumgee were rescued from the river, are you guys all right? Yeah. To the moment paramedics checked them out in the ambulance.
I feel good to be back. Good to be back.
You could hear nothing but cheers and jubilation that the teens had been found alive. And perhaps no one is happier about the rescue than the teens' moms.
We had tons of people praying, you know, churches everywhere, all the way from Wyoming to South Carolina. You know, we had people contacting us and praying, and that's how we got by, is just on our faith.
Landon Cross's dad was so overjoyed he passed out. You could see others shedding tears of joy, thrilled that both young men were still alive.
They climbed a tree and kind of sat there all night because they were in a swamp.
Cross and Dumgee had been missing overnight after going on a fishing trip in a boat with no motor or life jackets. An army of family and friends prayed as the sheriff deputy searched on land and water. Chopper 5 gave us all an exclusive view of the search and eventual rescue. You can see the boys being brought back to land. Wildlife officer Andy Tweed spotted the teens from his kayak.
But I knew I was getting close. I found their fishing lure hung on a tree, and I was like, well, they're getting close.
All in all, it was a tough night that turned out well for these teens and their families. After their rescue, these youngsters even had time to joke around. So did you catch any fish?
No.
Come on, man, we got family to see.
Ben Watson, Action News 5.
All right, we'll have complete coverage of this story on our website, Facebook page, and Twitter.
Hi, Santa. Well, hi. How are you this morning?
It's picture time at the mall with Santa Claus, and youngsters like Mikey Rogers were eager to give old St. Nick their Christmas list and take a picture.
Say cheese. Cheeseburgers.
Standing nearby, the 5-year-old's mother, Amy Rogers, was so proud she started crying.
This is just a wonderful thing that they do for our children. And it's, we've come so far in the last 3 years.
Rogers explained that her son has autism, and her tears are from joy at what Mikey has accomplished.
If you had asked my child to come and sit with Santa and talk to him 3 years ago, the words that you just heard him say, you wouldn't have heard. And it's due to lots of hard work and therapy. Mikey was one of several children with disabilities that Wolf Chase Galleria Mall invited to this special event called Caring Santa.
It's a private VIP style event, so these families can sign up for a time slot, show up, and go right into Santa's lab.
Parents pointed out that children with autism can become irritated when they have to wait in long lines around large crowds and other activity.
It's almost like a panic attack on hyperactive speed. It's just more than they can handle.
That's why during this event, mall managers shut off the escalators and curbed other mechanical actions that might be a distraction to children.
You want to come over here and sit with me for a minute?
Children and parents like Amy Rogers described this event as their best Christmas present ever. You seem so proud of what he was doing. Is that kid going to get everything on his Christmas list?
Oh, you know he is. You know he is. He is our world.
Oh, don't forget to bring me some cookies.
Ben Watson, WMC, Action News 5.
You do that, and I'll bring you some toys, okay?
When Patti LaBelle is not on stage, you'll find her in the kitchen. And her latest dish, sweet potato pies, are getting the thumbs up from fans.
Oh, it's so pretty. Look at that. On my own.
Patty's Pies got even more famous after Chicago resident Charles Wright posted this video of himself bragging about the pies on Facebook.
If anybody know Patty LaBelle, tag her in the video. Patty! Whoa!
The video went viral with some 7 million views on Facebook. Now, people all over the country are buying Patty's Pies, and some are making their own videos.
For some reason, I can't stop eating it.
The result has been a run on Patty LaBelle pies at Walmarts around the Mid-South. And just look what happened when I called every Walmarts in the Memphis area trying to find Patty LaBelle pies. You're out?
Yes, sir, we are.
Oh, wow. Well, what about the other stores in town, other Walmart stores?
As far as I know, they're all out too.
A Walmart employee told me that stores began running out of the pies over the weekend.
They sold as fast as we could get them on the floor.
A couple of days ago, Patty LaBelle called Wright herself to thank him for promoting her pies. Since then, he's been on cloud 9. Here in Memphis, Patty LaBelle pies are selling for around $4. However, on eBay, they're more expensive, selling for around $45. Ben Watson, WMC, Action News 5.